Hello, YouTube. This is the Enlightened Order, back again after a rather long hiatus. I've decided to start a new series called Let's Discuss. It will chronicle things that I find interesting or want to talk about, or something that I know quite a bit about and wish to spread to other people. The first episode in this series will be the existence of God. And so, without further ado, let's discuss the existence of God. We're going to look at both sides of this question, and we're going to start with the atheistic side, which I will then counter with the Christian side. For the atheistic side, I will be looking at Richard Dawkins, a militant atheist and renowned scientist. Let's see what Dawkins has to say about religion, spirituality, and faith. The first quote from Dawkins is, "Religion is capable of driving people to such dangerous folly that faith seems to me to qualify as a kind of mental illness." First of all, I would say that this isn't an argument so much as it is an insult, an ad hominem attack on religion. This is characteristic of Dawkins. He might be widely respected in his field of biology, but when it comes to theology and philosophy, he falls short in most cases. All he falls back on are insults and otherwise mocking of religion, especially Christianity. However, now that we have his thoughts on religion, we can move on. The second Dawkins quote is, "We are all atheists about most of the gods that societies have ever believed in. Some of us just go one god further." Let's examine this claim. According to the Oxford English Dictionary, atheism is defined as the disbelief or lack of belief in God or gods. By definition, you cannot be an atheist if you have a belief in any god. Whether or not you don't believe in some is irrelevant. Now, some might cite this as just me playing with semantics. However, I think that this shows that Dawkins has a very, very limited grasp on this theological concept. And honestly, I would go so far as to say that as devout as he is in atheism, it almost classifies as a religion for him. The third Dawkins quote is, "Rather than say he is an atheist, a friend of mine says, 'I'm a tooth fairy agnostic,' meaning he can't disprove God, but thinks God is about as likely as the tooth fairy." Now, comparing God to the tooth fairy is a very faulty premise. People do not disbelieve in beings like the Tooth Fairy and Santa Claus because of a lack of proof, but because of the overwhelming proof that such things just do not exist. Moving away from Dawkins, many have asked the question, if God created us, then who created God? This would be a valid question for something that existed within the confines of cause and effect, but God does not. God created space and time. He exists outside of it, a timeless creator. There is no need for him to have one. This is merely an example of limited, flawed human beings trying to apply their own understanding of things to an infinite, all-powerful deity. Another question atheists have asked in their quest to disprove God is, if God is so good, why is there so much evil in the world? Well, first of all, where in the Bible does it say that God promised a perfect world free from evil? Never. The evil of this world was not created by God, but as a result of the disobedience of mankind. We have free will, which God will not interfere with. Adam and Eve willfully disobeyed God, and in doing so cursed the earth. Not only this, but Satan is also a big player in the world, causing much of the evil we see. To this, some might ask, well, why did God create Satan then? The answer is simple. He didn't. God created the angel Lucifer, who was a righteous being, highly beloved by God. Lucifer became Satan, but was not made that way. Wrapping up, while I cannot prove to you beyond the shadow of a doubt that God exists, atheists, despite their posturing in supreme confidence, cannot disprove him either. And I would say that science helps God's case more than it damages it. Well, with that, I will say thank you for listening, and like, comment, and subscribe if you want to hear more. Thanks.